How to overcome the fear of being seen. I don't know what to talk about. So this is a question I get all the time, both in my comments and in client sessions, is this: I know I'm supposed to share something. I feel this, I desire to express myself, but I don't know what to talk about. So it's important to understand that the message that you're here to share is already within you. It already lives within inside of you, and it's just waiting to be discovered. And there's essentially two ways you can do this. So the first one is how I work with clients, which is we deprogram you from everything the world has told you that you have to be. So we start to take off the masks, the identities that are not truly you. We start to clear out the stories, the programs, the beliefs, the emotions, all of the things that have shaped who you are today, which is not authentic to you, so that you can remember who you are. And as you do that, your message becomes very clear. And then I use my other skill sets, like being a publicist and a content creator, to help you refine your message and understand how to communicate it with the world. So if that resonates with you, whether or not you want to work with me in that project, the key is to discover who you are. And so I would start with like soul level identity work, your self-concept. What masks are you wearing? What has the world told you to be? And how can you start to take that off to discover who you are underneath all of that? Second way is actually the way that I did it. And it's a way a lot of content creators start, is just by showing up and creating and learning through that process and discovering who you are. So with this version, you have to be comfortable allowing the public to witness your evolution. So when I first started creating content, the very first thing I did was share my channeled messages. And I was terrified of sharing my spiritual gifts. I didn't know if they were real. I didn't know how to share them. I thought people were going to think I was crazy. And so I started sharing my channeled messages. And then I started sharing more of my spiritual gifts. And then I started talking about codependence and narcissism and all of these other different healing topics. And then I started talking about how to share your story. And it was an iteration. And so I had to allow people to see me and witness me as I evolved in my own process. And it was through that process that I discovered my message. I also discovered the way I like to deliver content. So sometimes it's me talking to the camera. Other times it's me teaching. Like, this is just a process, a playground where you are just creating and allowing yourself to iterate off of those creations to see what excites you, what topics light you up that you could talk about all day. So if this is you and this is what you're comfortable with, you can ask yourself, what is one helpful thing I can share with the world today? Keep it really simple. What is one message that I just wish everyone in the world knew about? What's most beneficial about my story that could help someone today? Like, just start asking yourself questions and then just start showing up and sharing. And as you do that, you're going to use content as a way to rediscover who you are. And then as you do that, you discover, again, that message that is already within you, you're here to share. So whether you do this in a more organized way and you have help along the way and you figure out who you are and you figure out that message and how to communicate it, or if you're someone who just likes to jump into the fire, then you just start creating and iterating and just be comfortable with the world witnessing your evolution, which in all reality is actually really beautiful if we can put the ego aside and allow ourselves to be witnessed in our own process.